Hello, all, greetings. This is Gilles Mancillon. I wanted to come and greet you today. I hope you're having a wonderful day on this beginning of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere. It is a very, very potent and powerful time to enjoy, to use this new energy for new enterprise. I wanted to briefly speak of Mercury retrograde. We moved into this Mercury retrograde. And so if you listen to most astrologers, they will tell you, well, do not travel, do not buy anything, do not speak to anyone, do not communicate, do not do anything important during those 3 weeks, because everything will be... and those beliefs have created Mercury, who has responded in kind, and so he has been able to slow down the process of human mind during those retrograde periods. Yet, if we live in fear and paralysis, and not to understand that the opportunities are now, for if we know this, everything is happening now, then Mercury will serve us, just as whether it is retrograde or not, he will work for us. In essence, once we move into the now, the planets will all assist, and it is just we have to understand how they work on all those people that are connected to time. They will be slowed down, but in essence, you will not be slowed down, because the whole process of ascension, as you move into your empowerment, those planets will no longer slow you down. And in essence, what I'm really trying to express throughout all those messages is to let go from fear and move into love. For if we are afraid of anything, if we are doing anything that is because of fear, then we'll definitely end up in limitation, and that prevents us from discovering the true potential of loving yourself, loving others. For that is really the way to go, but to make our life simple, to make our life meaningful, we need to discover that we need to provide to ourselves the love we need, the comfort we need, the security we need, the acceptance of all of the higher and lighter aspect of ourselves, in order to create a ground, a base where there is no more fear, and then we can grow from there. The love can grow into wisdom, and we can move into the knowing that we will always be at the right time, in the right place, for the right reason. For we are moving towards self-empowerment, towards healing and wholeness. For as soon as you accept those things are being done, then you are already into the next level. So basically, what I recommend is do what you feel like doing. Do not wait for planets to catch up. They will catch up. Mercury will go forward. But if you have anything to do, just yet assume the responsibility of what you do. If you expect something that will dysfunction because of Mercury retrograde, and you do it with half-hearted impulse, then something may go wrong, to teach you that you have to be sure about what you do in terms of what you propose to the universe. So we're all moving into a new dimension, a new level. We do not know what's on the other side of the tunnel, but all of those who are seeking ascensions have asked to make leaps of faith into the unknown. And so at the beginning, it is useful to make very small steps, slow steps, not to try to do like a marathon. But it's more a marathon than a sprint in any way. If there was to ascension is more like it's better to go slowly. So because if we go too fast at the beginning, then we kind of lose we have to get used to that new energy. All those messages that are relative to ascensions are attempting to create an inner map, to create an influence, an inspiration for you, for each and every person, to seek the truth within themselves, and to listen to the inner voice, so that from there we are guided, is to understand the inner, the GPS, the inner guiding system. For that this is the only you can always be sure of that. This is the wholeness navigator. And also, if the road was too well defined, there would be no way to make a wrong turn, to take the wrong road. And sometimes by taking the wrong road, we discover something that is useful to our evolution. So there is no mistake. It is only a learning process. It is an integration process. We are integrating and sometimes we are experiencing what is living, and sometimes we are experiencing what is new and coming. In essence, we make our choice when we acknowledge that we are choosing the highest good of all, and our highest good, in order to continue to grow and expand within within our realm of consciousness until we can attain this total connection with this inner self, this inner eternal self. Because we are all eternal and infinite being. We have forgotten that. We have to recall that, remember that, for it is not something we have to create or learn. We already are that, so this cannot be even touched. The true essence of who we are can never even be touched by anything. It is unconditional, it is immortal. But we chose to come and do this life, and so we have to learn to live this life with as much. We need to change some of our belief system, to let go of our fear, to change our belief system in order to make sometimes very small change in our mind, in our belief system, in our mind, the way we think, change the way we think, can make our life a whole lot easier. So that's what I'm encouraging each and every one of you. It's to always, when you see a fear, to recognize it, to thank the fear for what the fear is telling you, but do not be afraid of the fear or hold on to the fear or believe the fear is real, because then you're putting your antimatter towards realizing something you do not want. So put your love into what those thoughts that are wanted, and let go of the fears. Basically, it is maybe easier said than done, but it's not that hard right now. To deactivate all those fears, with a little bit of effort, it should be manageable. And then as we disconnect all that, it's not like from one day to the next, but as we disconnect all that, we find that our life is getting a lot easier. So I'm preparing a little trip. I will be offline for about 10 days. I'm going to the mountain, so it's going to be a sport vacation. I'm going to try to do a video from there, maybe from my cell phone. I will see if I can make it. Right now I'm going to pull a few cards. So what is the highest wisdom we can discover today? And today the highest wisdom is achievement. Is achieving what we've been looking forward to do. And so it is about, this is the wisdom to arrive at this achievement. What we need to understand is intuition. It is our guiding system. It is following that sense of intuition, and intuition is the beginning of something. Then it moves into more, and then there is all kinds of higher senses that are giving you insight into things. It is a matter of being gentle with yourself and with others. This is really the way. Soft power is the way to go, to stop all the brutality, to be more conscious, to be more not conscious in a sense that, but conscious in a sense not to. Everything is alive, so you do not want to hurt any forms of life. So it will take time before we can recognize all the elemental kingdoms. I've had a question about the elemental kingdom. For those who seek to connect with the elemental kingdom, the best way is to go to meditate within nature, maybe where there is mushrooms gathering. Then you can sit down there. Try not to disturb it, but this is usually where if you meditate for about 20-30 minutes, you should definitely connection should be made, and maybe some connection and energy for those magic kingdoms that are really wonderful. They're full of inspiration, of joy and happiness, and so there is much to learn, and from our reconnection to those worlds, those magic kingdom and elemental kingdoms, and we have a diva above, and then the Elohim that is the creator of form when it comes to. But those elementals are the builders of form. They are the maintainer of form. So we do want to have gratitude for all they do for us, as they are the ones that are making this physical life possible. Thank you. I just wanted to make this little comment on elementals, as I did make it in the French video. What we need to do is a paradigm shift. It's moving from fear to love, from separation to unity, from doubts into self-empowerment. There is a great deal of shift and changing that is happening now. So I hope you really do enjoy it. It's a very powerful time, and more will be enjoyed as we appreciate what we have already. And the general message for us is the second card is called partnership. Life is a partnership with spirit. Spirit is doing the most of the work, but we have to collaborate. We have to apply our consciousness to become associated with our spiritual energy force, and understand that in the invisible world there are countless forms of energy and spiritual forces. The Creator, God, being the ultimate, the absolute, the most invisible of all presence. Yet is but there are many forms of spirits that can help and assist, and those are your spirit guides. And And so the more we are able to connect with those energies, the more we'll be able to utilize those resources. I also wanted to say that no matter how much we are able to give back to life, give back to God, we can never come close to what God is giving us already. No one can really. That's one of the divine. What we need to do is to try to act as godlike as possible, to be as loving as possible, to be as kind as possible, to be as lucid as possible, to be as wise as possible, to be as compassionate as possible. All those things adds up, and then eventually the I Am presence is aligning with you and reveal to you the all kinds of amazing things. So it is all to look for within that connection to that truth in the heart, for the heart is the doorway to love, and love is really the vehicle of higher life. And so because living in the higher planes, well, we are eternal, but life is really hard. How can an eternal life that is so hard would be unbearable? But this is only temporal, when in the higher plane everybody lives in a state of grace. There is no so that is what we need to reconnect to. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wanted to make a little video before I complete my checklist and get on with my trip. I'm going to finish by a little song. I hope you find it interesting. It's a song of rock and roll. In essence, I found that half of the songs of rock and roll are about light, love, understanding, and half of the songs are about heartbreaks and disappointment, about romantic situation. But that is really enriching in sense. It didn't not just for rock and roll, but the whole of literature has been benefited by those complex dynamics between in sentimental relation. Well, yet this song is not just about sentimental deception, it is also about love, unity, oneness. And it's called One. It goes like this. Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame. You say one love, one life, when it's one need in the night, one love, we get to share it. It leaves you, baby, if you don't care for it. Did I disappoint you or leave a bad taste in your mouth? You act like you never had love, and you want me to go without. Well, it's too late tonight to drag the past out into the light. We are one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other one. Have you come here for forgiveness? Have you come to raise the dead? Have you come here to play Jesus to the lepers in your head? Did I ask too much? More than a lot? You gave me nothing, now it's all I've got. We are one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other one. Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry I missed the end, but nevertheless, that's the way it has been done. I will maybe do it later again. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for staying till the end, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.